Yeah, it's two great games that we played these guys. I thought the one in Dallas could have went either way, and I thought this one could have went either way too. Um, but our guys are, we have a system that we play in. We don't change it if somebody's in or somebody's out. We play the way we play. I thought the second half, our ball movement, our shot selection, and I thought we had a good plan. Devontae had they have an advantage on the block. We have an advantage 15 feet away. And Devontae's job was to get to the free throw line. It'd been nice if it had mixed a few more made free throws in there. But I just felt like we could drive their bigs. And then we started off the game fine. We got a lot of easy baskets. Galen's one of those point guards that fits how we play, even though he's a freshman. When he went down, obviously we struggled a little bit with that. But there's a lot of turning points in that game. One was when we got down 11, our fight. That's part of our identity. Our kids stayed together. A lot of teams, when they play against a highly ranked team, whatever, I don't even know where they're ranked. What are they ranked? Yeah, the 12th ranked team in the country. But our kids don't back down. They just don't. They're tough kids. We compete, man. We have a identity that we play with. But I thought our shot selection the second half was outstanding. We took good shots. We shot 54% from the field, but we worked for those shots. I thought this first half I didn't like our shot selection, and I got on them a little bit at halftime. I fussed at them pretty good about the shot selection at halftime. Second half, we played to the third side. When you play to the third side, meaning the side you enter, the ball swung to the second side, then back to the third side, then attack, usually a defense will loosen up for you, and that's when you find driving angles. But Devontae made some huge plays. LaRon Barnes, Dot, Galen. But maybe the guy that turned the game for us was Bert. When Bert came in the game, he had a physicality and a rim protection about him that made our team tougher inside. It's not enough to play tough. You got to play physical. And Bert brought some physicality in there. He blocked a couple of shots. He took a charge. And Bert's such a high-character kid. He sits on that bench, doesn't get to play as much as probably he likes, or maybe he should. I don't know. Maybe he should play more. And then he goes in there and does that. Says a lot about the attitude. I'm lucky to coach a guy like Bert.
Questions, please.
What does it say about your team that even without a guy like Rob, that you guys are able to knock off a team like SMU?
Oh, I think it says a lot about our program. I'd much rather have a great program than a good team. There's a lot of good teams out there, but good teams come and go. Good teams don't handle adversity well. There's a difference in a great program and a good team, and that's, when I took this thing over in April of 2014, my goal was to build a great program. Obviously, we've come along pretty fast. I've been able to be where we're at, but I still think this team can get better. Obviously, when we play the right way, when we share the ball and we attack the glass and we defend with a purpose, we can be a good team. But there's a lot of things that I see, even though we're in the month of February, that we can continue to get better. Their team is a finished product. Ours is not. We're still building this thing. We're nowhere near complete. Our team can still get better, and we've had a lot of adversity. Not having Rob Gray either game. That kid scored as easy a 31-point as you can score on Saturday. He's our best offensive player. But the fact that you win without a guy like that, I think speaks volumes to your identity and what you value. Our values, our core values of our program will be on the defensive end, the rebounding part. We're a great offensive rebounding team. Not good, great. I think we're top 10 in the nation. There's 351 of those teams, and we're really good at that. We had I think Devontae might have had did you have a putback dunk tonight? I know LaRon did, but we've got 4 guys that can really offense the rebound. Devontae, Chicken, Dot, and LaRon. And then Bert's in there, he causes problems. So, but that's something that we started working on that October 11th. Actually, we worked on it going to China. It was offensive rebound in China, weren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think of the fans tonight? Coach Brown said it reminded him of the old days of the noise and the environment.
Yeah. You know, it almost brings a tear to your eye because of where we were last year and earlier this year. But you know, when Mac Rose and President Couture came to me and talked to me about this job, I identified two areas that I thought was really poor. One was facilities, and 2 was fan support. There's the apathy. And then I stepped back and said, if those are the biggest problems, then we're going to be fine. Whereas some people see it as a problem, I saw it as an opportunity. It's a great opportunity. First of all, it starts with administration. You know, coaches don't win championship, administrators do. You know, and I made sure they understood that. If they want us to win championships, they got to build facilities. And then fan support, I knew a style of play. 2 things had to happen: style of play, and we had to win. You know, and you know, here we are in our 2nd year. I mean, shoot, we're game out of 1st place in the conference. I mean, who would have ever thunk that? You know, will we win the league? I don't know. Maybe not. That's okay. It's not. That was never our goal to start the season. But we've played ourselves into. Let's see what happens now. Got a big game Sunday. But I like my team. I like how far they've come. You know, we started this thing off. We didn't even know each other. We had 7 new guys. Are you kidding me? 7 new guys. That team has 4 starters back from last year. We got 7 new guys. So, but we've put this thing together, and these guys have really bought into our culture, and they bought into each other, and that says a lot about them.
Devontae, you guys went on it was 21-4 run there to take the lead when y'all were down. I think you even had your first 3-pointer of the year there. What seemed to take off for you guys in terms of being able to? I think they went also 6 minutes without points, and defensively you guys also held them. But what went on during that stretch there that you guys kind of took control?
Just focus on 2 things: defending and rebound. Everything else took care of itself, and that's what Coach been trying to get us to do. He keep preaching it day after day after day, game after game after game. Just focus on that and let everything else fall into place. And just play hard, and I think that's what we did, and it just came and went our way.
Bert, how do you describe the game that you provide a team for that right now?
I just provide defense. I just thought I'd get out there and just do my job. We needed defense because they was scoring really easy inside in the paint. So I just figured I got to go there and just be physical, make them stop. Get some stop because we really need it so we can get on offense and just run.
Devontae, what you've been going through the last few games, look like at least the last couple, you started to look at your old self. What do you do in that situation where you battled through it and not giving up, but have you just been working to just find that production again that you had early in the year?
Right. It was. It was a couple games there where I couldn't make a shot. I couldn't make a free throw. I just couldn't do nothing offensively. And as a basketball player, if you're not strong mentally, that stuff starts to mess with your head. And I think that's what happened to me. And with having Coach Sampson being good of coach he is, I think he kind of low-key knew, and he had some talks with me and was just telling me, don't worry about the shot, don't worry about that end on the floor, just focus on defense and rebounding, and it'll come to you. And I just kept going in the gym, on my off time and working on my game, and then come game time, just focus on defense, rebounding. I was back to myself, and I couldn't let my team down.
Devontae, what feels different when it comes to crowd this weekend? Do you guys feed off of that, and how does that impact the
Having a great crowd, I think, helps your team as a team, the energy. But, me, myself, individually, I haven't been playing in front of a huge crowd all my life. So really, to be honest, playing in front of a big crowd like that, yeah, individually, it gets me hyped and it pumps me up. And it gets me ready to play, but also, even if the crowd wasn't that big, I still was gonna be ready to play. So
it makes a huge difference. It's that's what I'm so happy that our kids get to experience that. You know, I've coached at enough places. I mean, obviously, you know, our coaching staff has experienced that, but LaRon Barnes hasn't. You know, L.J. Rose has not. Chicken hasn't. Who am I missing from that first group, Devontae? Am I missing somebody? You know, those guys that played here before we got here, you know, they'd never seen that. You know, and I was so happy for them. You know, I'm just real proud of our fans. Lauren has been our liaison with the students. When I walked in here tonight, and you know, she's had me at Dr. Bott's class twice. She's had me all these dorms. I mean, she's been dragging me around like a like a goat on a rope. Just go here, go here, go here. And I knew that work that she had put in and taking me around, if we started winning, those kids would start identifying. And now that we're winning, you know, they'll come back. You know, that wasn't our first sell. I mean, was that a sellout tonight? I don't even know. The LSU game was a huge crowd, but tonight was our crowd. You know, there's a lot of people that came to LSU game to see Ben Simmons, and that's okay. You know, I might have come to see him play too. I'd have left impressed with Houston though, but tonight those were our people. You know, and I was real proud of that. You know, our next home game is when there's our next home game. Whenever that is. A lot of those people who had not seen us play, they'll come back, and that's how you get this thing going. We're going to get this going. We're going to build this program up. I'm excited about it.
Coach, you said that you guys have a team that anyone can beat, but that you also have a team that you can beat anyone. Do you think you all proved that tonight? Do you tell the guys that before the game?
No, I never mentioned that to them. I said that to you. Can't believe you just spilled the beans on that. No, all I ever talk to our team about is how we're going to win this game. I stay in the moment, you know. But we work at it. You know, our practices are really good. You know, we had a long day on Saturday. You know, we had a 7 o'clock wake up. Pregame meal was at 8 o'clock. Got on the bus and went to the gym in North Carolina about 10:15 or 10:30. It's a double overtime game. We didn't get out of there until almost 4 o'clock. And then we jumped on a plane and had to get back here. We got back here late Saturday night. And so yesterday, you know, it's fortunate that we'd already played them once, so we had an idea what we wanted to do. But we knew without Rob we were going to have to change up our game plan a little bit because of what we had put in with him there. But we also knew that we could attack them in some areas and hurt them. So, but having a short Sunday and then having this game tonight, I just think speaks volumes of the character and the toughness of this team. And make no mistake about it, that is a outstanding, really good college basketball team we beat. I mean, they're good. They are hard to play against.
Coach, what's it like whenever you see a guy like James Harden come and support you?
Oh, he called me today. Did he call? Yeah, he texted me and called me, so I knew he was coming. So, James, we're 2-0 with James. You know, he can always come, but you know, James and I have a good relationship, so I'm just glad he got to see a good game.